Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm talking about all the horror movies that are coming out in September. So I can't believe that August is already over. August seems like the longest and quickest month all at the same time. I feel like the summer months were just melted together, and I am ready for the fall, so I'm excited that September's here. It's Virgo season, my birthday's coming up, and we're getting a lot of good horror to watch. It's just a good time to be a horror fan, so let's get into it. So first, I'm talking about movies that are coming to theaters. So first up is We Need to Do Something. This is a film from IFC Midnight, and it's based on the Max Booth III novel of the same name, and this centers around a family who take shelter in their bathroom during a tornado, and things go horribly wrong, and that's all I'm gonna say. And this film stars Vanessa Shaw, who you might remember from Hocus Pocus, and I'm just really excited about this one. I think it's going to be dark and different, and I've heard a lot of great things about the book, which I haven't read yet, so I'm excited to watch this. And also, I need to read the book. I want to read it before the movie, but my TBR is just too long right now, okay? We Need to Do Something is coming out September 3rd. Next is Malignant. So this is a new original horror from director James Wan, and this centers around a woman who is experiencing nightmarish visions of this murderer, and she goes on an investigation with her sister to try to figure out what's going on, and they uncover some dark underlying secrets about their past, which includes some secrets involving their parents. So this is releasing in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously on September 10th. And Barlow is in the background doing his whatever he does. Barlow, sir, can you please? All right, next we're moving on to everything that's coming out on Shudder. Now, I'm just focusing on the Shudder originals. Every month they have Shudder original movies that are exclusive to the platform, and then they also have tons of other horror movies that are older movies, international movies. There's just so much variety on there. So I'm just focusing on the new Shudder originals coming to the surface in September. So first up is Superhost, which is releasing on September 2nd. Now this movie, it focuses on two travel vloggers who they essentially go to different people's homes, and they're hosted by that person, and then they document their experience. So one of their next hosts, their super host, is a woman who seems to be a little unwell, and they decide to exploit her in order to increase their follower numbers, because their channel is slowly dying. But in doing that, they put themselves in danger because they learn that this woman has a lot more going on than they imagined. This one looks really good. It stars Aunt Jenna from The Vampire Diaries. I don't know her actual name, but she's really good. And it stars Kevin from Supernatural, who he was one of the guys who, I can't think of what he did. He like knew stuff. Supernatural is like 15 seasons long. I can't remember everything, but I know he was in it. But anyway, it looks really good, and it's a really interesting take on people with YouTube channels or people on social media who are striving to do whatever it takes to get those likes. So it looks interesting. It looks really good. Next is Martyrs Lane, which premieres on the platform on September 9th. Now this is a ghost story that centers around a 10-year-old girl who lives in a mansion, I think, with her mother, and her mother is very distant, and the little girl is basically trying to figure out what's wrong with her mom, why her mom doesn't really seem to like her, and in the process she is visited by a little girl with angel wings, and this little girl helps her make new discoveries. And I don't know much about it. I don't want to know more because it looks creepy, it sounds creepy, and I think it's an exploration of child trying to figure out why their parent might not love them, which sounds really sad. So I will probably cry, which we need that for me. Then on September 23rd, Creepshow Season 3 premieres, and this season will feature stories from Joe Hill and include performances from Ethan Embry and more. I thought Season 2 was a vast improvement to Season 1. It seems like they're really getting into their groove. Season 2 is just so much fun. There were some standout episodes that were reminiscent of Evil Dead. I don't want to give too much away. The Twilight Zone, it just felt like Creepshow. So I I have high hopes for season 3. I think they're gonna kill it. I can only imagine it getting better from here because I feel like everybody is in their groove. So I'm excited for season 3. And lastly, for Shudder, premiering on September 29th is the horror slasher Seance. Seance is a horror slasher from Simon Barrett, who you might know from You're Next and The Guest, and it centers around a group of girls at an all-girls academy who play a prank on a classmate that goes horribly wrong. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I know. I don't want to know more. Why am I so bad at this? So I'm excited for this, mostly because I love Suki Waterhouse. Is that her name? And I like Simon Barrett. I love You're Next and The Guest. And who doesn't want an all-female slasher? Because I do. I do, thank you. So next we're going to be talking about all the new stuff coming to Netflix in September. Now again, like Shudder, I'm not going to be talking about older films that are just coming to the platform. I'm talking about new stuff that's coming out that is standing out to me that I really want to see. So first up is Afterlife of the Party, which premieres on September 2nd. Now this is a comedy starring Victoria Justice as a girl who dies on her birthday weekend, but then she's given a chance to right her wrongs. And it's kind of like a second chance at life kind of story. Now that's not strictly horror, but it sounds very horror adjacent to me. A girl who dies and gets to come back to life. You're gonna tell me that's not horror? Whatever. It's horror to me. And then Hotel Del Luna is coming to the platform on September 10th, and this is a Korean drama. It's centered around a hotel where all the guests are ghosts. Really, I want to go to that hotel, but if I were to go to that hotel, it would probably mean I was dead. But then I'd be out of my misery, which is this real life world that I'm living in. But anyway, it sounds really good, and I love Korean dramas. I don't know if this is exactly horror, but if you have ghosts in it, it's automatically put in the horror category for me. Then we have Kate, which premieres on September 10th. Now this is the action thriller starring Mary Elizabeth Winstead as an assassin who has 24 hours left to live. She looks awesome. She looks like very much like Ripley from Aliens, and she looks like a badass. I am ready for some Mary Elizabeth Weinstein action hero stuff. And again, this isn't really horror, but it's close enough to me, if you ask me. And who doesn't love Mary Elizabeth Winstead? We all do. Ewan McGregor does too. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Then we have Prey, which is also coming to the platform on September 10th, and this follows a group of friends who are hiking through the wilderness, and then their hike turns deadly when they are interrupted by a sniper or a shooter who's like targeting them. Sounds interesting. I love stuff where people are out in nature and things go wrong. Then, Nightbooks. Nightbooks is coming to Netflix on September 15th, and this is a horror fantasy based on a novel series that I don't know about. It stars Kristen Ritter, and it centers around a little boy who is obsessed with scary stories. Thank you. Thank you, I need it. Sounds like it's made for me if it's about a kid who's obsessed with scary stories, because hello, that's me. That's me. I'm not a kid, but I fucking wish I was. I wish I could go back to being a kid. So I'm gonna relive that through him in this movie. You see? I have a feeling though it's gonna get dangerous for him. It's gonna get dangerous. And it's gonna get dangerous for all of you because I am out of coffee. Also coming to Netflix on September 16th, the entire Jaws franchise. If you haven't watched Jaws, you need to watch Jaws. It's now on Netflix, or it's going to be. And then Jaws 2 and Jaws 3. We don't need to talk about the other ones, but Jaws 1? Classic, iconic, need to watch it, but while you're there, watch the other ones too. I loved Jaws 2 when I was growing up, but then I watched it as an adult and I was like, this isn't that good. Then, and I don't have the date for this because I'm a dumbass, next is No One Gets Out Alive, which is based on the Adam Neville novel of the same name, and it centers around an immigrant woman whose American dream turns into a nightmare when she cannot escape the boarding house that she's staying at. Adam Neville is also the author of The Ritual, and he writes some creepy shit, so I have a feeling this one's gonna be creepy. And my most anticipated September Netflix release is Midnight Mass, which premieres on September 24th. This is the latest supernatural horror series from Mike Flanagan, who you know from The Haunting of Hill House, among other things. He's a horror god to me. He does no wrong, except I didn't like season 2 of Bly Manor, but A lot of people did. I wasn't one of them. But anyway, this looks really good. Stars Matt Saracen, aka Zach Gulford, who he played Matt Saracen in Friday Night Lights. And it centers on a small town that you know, everything goes wrong when this mysterious priest arrives. That's all I know. The trailer looks really good. I don't know much. I don't want to know, but I know that it's going to be good. Okay? I have high hopes and I'm excited. This is my most anticipated September watch. And then on Amazon Prime, we have The Voyeurs, which is premiering on September 10th. This is an erotic thriller starring Sydney Sweeney, who you might know from a ton of shit, including Euphoria. She was most recently in White Lotus, and we love her here. And by we, I mean me. Maybe Barlow, if Barlow knew what the fuck was going on. Sydney Sweeney stars in this as one half of a couple who move into their dream apartment, and across the way are their neighbors that they can see right into their house, and their neighbors are beautiful.
And they fuck a lot.
And this couple, they start to spy on them, because why not? I mean, I would too, TBH. I'm gonna watch through your windows. I'm just kidding, I don't do that. I don't do that, I keep my shades up because I don't want people to do that to me. But anyway, it looks interesting. I'm assuming that things go wrong. They get a little too close to this couple and their lives intersect in some way, and I think some dangerous stuff might happen. But yeah, The Voyeurs, September 10th. Don't spy on your neighbors, okay? Because it could get you killed. Those are all of the things coming out in September that I'm most excited about. What are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll leave all my social links down below so we can connect on there as well. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.